Hello, 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 and welcome back to That Quirky Bird Girl. I'm your host, Steph, and I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining. Tonight, the universe has decided that I simply must get down to writing. Now, I've been talking about writing a book for a while, and I've been in the process of doing it, and that's been a whole other project. That has been so much fun. So much fun. But the universe has also decided that it is my opportunity now to also do a speech. Both of these opportunities involve birds to some degree, and I am so lucky that people want to hear me talk about something I already want to talk about. Here's my dilemma. I obviously need to spend more time talking about birds and looking at birds and being around birds. That's a whole separate point, okay? I need a fun juice. Anyways, I'm back. And I'm back with my juice. So that problemo was resolvido, if you know what I mean. Anyways, we hate ice, right? I digress. So refreshing. I will literally do anything to avoid sitting down and writing this speech. It's really hard. I started writing a little bit earlier. Okay, this is something I used to eat a bunch as a kid. It's basically just like nachos. It's just ground beef, cheese, and chips. And my speech, I just talk about at the beginning how much American Robins mean to me and how like they were the first like externalization of my weirdness, and they kind of made me feel like comfortable in being my weird self, you know? So I want to like enter that into conversation. What else do I want to do? It's hard to eat and think at the same time. It needs more salt. Right now, I seem to be able to do is to eat food. I don't know if I'm doing it because I'm avoiding or if it's because I'm genuinely hungry. What I do know though is I need water. That's a good insight to have. And I'm just gonna cheers. So I drank some water. Am I still hungry? I think so. It was kind of already there. So what am I to do? I'm just a girl. I've been really scared lately of being seen trying, and I think that might be getting in the way of some things for me right now, even, which is interesting. I have one last big piece. I guess I'm scared of getting started too, because what if I get started and fail? Failing isn't the worst thing. In fact, sometimes it can give you a fresh restart. Okay, so that's that, which is awesome. I'm still struggling to think about the same things. Like, it doesn't totally matter that I reasonably know what I know today. But you know what? We are strong and we are resilient. And now is no time better for me to just one foot in front of the other, just as if I've got to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, it like resets your whole face. My gosh, sneezes are the wildest things ever. Oh, I feel it like in my brain. Ugh. It's like adjusting things around up in there. You know what I'm saying? Well, about writing this speech. So I'll read the first few lines. Growing up, I had passion after passion, falling in love with each deeper by the minute. A first love of mine was the bright orange and gray bird that woke me up bright and early every morning as a child. I should add that in. Hall of an American Robin, because I didn't have that in there until I just did that just now. I don't know why I did that. That's wild. I'm a good improvist. Is that a word? The improvist comes up with the first word to define improvists. Hating the system. Or are you the system? Oh, hi there. Whoa, isn't that kind of crazy? My head can slinky. What? I didn't realize it could do that. Why does it look like that? Why does my head look like that? Okay, well, I just did that for all of the internet to enjoy, so enjoy. The next sentence is, I was in love. American Robins are goofy, and it felt like their silly behavior gave me the permission that little me needed in order for me to hop around just the same. So, does this look like? So, what does it look like? Look like to live a day in an American robin's feathers? Dot, dot, dot. Well, for starters, what do we look like? No, that's not fun. Well, for starters, okay, first thing, and the thing that captured my heart, was their silly way of acquiring the worms that their peach pie little hearts desire. You see, robins don't just wake up early to get the worm. The worm, dot dot dot. They also create the perfect storm of worm haven. They could also create the perfect storm of worm haven. Boom. Okay. I think I'm gonna do 2 for this one. 2. Worm haven. American robins get up early for the worm, and they chase the worm. Okay. They start their mornings bright and early. Most of the times, was it dawn? At dawn, with a pulsating call. That What does American robins remind me of? They remind me of dewy, like spring, always, like full-time spring. That's what they remind me of. Their pulsating call that rings in dewy spring weather. Always seems to ring in dewy spring weather. Ooh, I like that. Okay. What else do American robins do? For starters, they're incredibly intelligent. And I know, some people are iffy about calling birds intelligent. But I would argue that if an African gray parrot can learn words in multiple different languages and understand the context in which it is most beneficial to use each. Yeah, those are intelligent birds. Yeah, birds are intelligent. Let's see, what do they do? They're incredibly intelligent. Oh gosh, where was I going with that though? They're intelligent. Well, they come out after the rain, so that's one reason that they're intelligent. Like they know that the worms they follow meteorological patterns and forage when it is most convenient for them to do so, which which requires oh my gosh, I can't spell. Which requires enhanced enhanced which requires enhanced pattern and pattern recognition and detail oriented skills. Okay. Well, for starters, they're incredibly intelligent. They follow meteorological patterns and forage when it's most convenient for them to do so, which requires enhanced pattern recognition and detail-oriented skills. The thing that captured my heart was their silly way of acquiring the worm that their peach pie hearts desire. You robins don't just wake up early to get the worm. They also create the perfect storm of worm haven. They start their mornings bright and early, most of the times at dawn, with a pulsating call that always seems to bring in dewy spring weather. Some days, when the worms find, are more difficult to source, they robins perform for the worms, playing their movement and making the leap. So, are you curious what this looks like? I'm going to show you. But before I do, let's take a look around us and see if we can identify an American robin. I'm really hoping that there is an American robin that is nearby or something, that it is in the area, So if we see one, I don't know, I'll ad lib. If we don't see one, I'll be like, haha. If we don't see one, now we do, because I will become an American robin. And I will then start behaving as such. Okay, so if no, they are, well, not to worry. I am going to demonstrate for you what it looks like to be an American robin is foraging. And then I'm just going to do the little bounce, tap, tap. I'll do it 3 times, bounce, tap, tap. And what they're doing so that is an American robin. You might be asking, what the heck and why? Well, they do that jumping behavior because it's kind of like the underground equivalent of shaking a snow. A worm's cage is quite literally rattled. Enhanced American robin hearing me as the robin, of course, allows, and then the enhanced, I didn't like saying my American robin allows them to, enhanced American robin hearing allows them to literally hear what direction the worm is headed in. Then boom, boom, just like that, the robin leaps forward, similar to a great blue heron who uses its beak as a spear. I don't know how to spell that. Spear towards, I don't know, other birds maybe? Other fish, towards fish. And he uses its enhanced vision and sharp beak as a spear towards fish. They both grab their hunt and this time of year are actually taking it back to their nests. The food back to their nests for their young. It's breeding season. And a few months ago, it was mating season. If you're new to birds during these periods of time, they may be alarming to you. Save you the details, but just know. And a few months ago, it was mating season. No, it's not breeding season. It's like raising young. It's fledgling season. It's fledgling season. A few months ago, it was breeding season. Before that, each wave of change has brought about significant change for these birds, including becoming highly territorial. Territorial, as Polly D says. This time of year, wait, I don't want to say that. Highly territorial this time of year. I got a spider bite on my hand right there, and it hurts. That's my update. I just wrote like 5 minutes of speech in like 10 minutes. That's awesome. Okay. They're highly territorial this time of year. My favorite story about territorial birds is when my brother and his recently purchased Dodge Dart came face to face with an American robin that simply did not, which is common amongst birds such as northern cardinals, and even eastern bluebirds. My hands are swollen. Why does that happen? Does anyone know? Everything feels swollen. I'm tired. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, it's just common amongst and even eastern bluebirds. Well, the American robin was so territorial over the area where my brother parked his car, that it managed to break the windshield of his car. He responded by saying, like, cover and 2 oven mitts for the mirrors. It worked. The American robin was far less distressed, at least for the cause of my brother's car. They become this protective, though, with good reason. They have many young to raise and need to offer we say home, like a place. They need to offer as abundant of resources as they can to their young as they grow and develop, which actually happens. They develop pretty quickly, relatively quickly. And are often seen out of the nest as fledglings, don't yet seem to have an established fear of humans. But yeah. Sometimes I do that. I feel very swollen right now. Like it's very swollen. Like my hands are swelling, feet are swelling. I don't know what's going on. It feels very weird. I think I'm just like stressing. I also need to practice this. Often their inquisition, not inquisition, their ability to be curious seems to wear off slightly as they grow into adults. Curiosity about humans often turns into ambivalence and can be found in other countries. My appreciation and love for birds. Appreciation and love for birds was first born through Steve Irwin. He was kind of like a father figure to me. He inspired, and to many people in my generation, and to many people in my generation who had the fortunate seeing him on their screen. He inspired some of the beginnings. He continues to inspire me today. And I said all of this. And completely neglected to introduce myself, which I'd like to argue likely gives away my diagnosis, and what has brought me to speak in front of you all today. My name is Steph. This Teph for 70. I don't go by that name anymore. I'm that quirky bird girl. And I'll take any excuse. I'll take any excuse to talk about birds. I'm a content creator. I'm a content creator and influencer on TikTok, and my entire content journey and self surrounds being able to appreciate. And self revolves around my ability to. Is it remain curious? Is it get excited? Is it like, what is it that I'm doing? What I'm doing is my ability to follow my entire content journey. I'm a content creator and influencer on TikTok. I am a podcaster, and I lead bird tours over in Central Park. I'm a content creator and influencer on TikTok. I'm a podcaster, and I lead tours. I have partnered with Audubon societies and interviewed some of the coolest people in the bird walk. I sit in front of you today as a proud bird lover, autistic person, and member of the LGBTQIA plus community. Identities made me feel like I was too much, and so I shrunk myself for people who were never meant to hold me. Birds have been my guides time and time again. Worse to losing a best friend, have seen me at my lowest. One of the biggest lessons. That's some sort of story or analogy. So let's go through this and just do it one in full. This is fun, but it's also long. Okay, just for 20 more minutes. Okay. Growing up, no. My hair will likely be down. I want it back. The best thing I've found in terms of preparing for a speech has been to act as if I am already talking to that crowd. So I am already talking to that crowd. It's just a different crowd. I'll also be uploading the video of this. Should I drink some coffee? I'm getting the nervous coffee. Okay, so I'm back, and usually what I do is I have my hair back. Okay. Alright. Should I hold a mic? I should hold a mic, because I will have a mic, she said. So, here we go. I'm going to continue posting this speech journey. So, stay tuned for more. And I love you, lords and lords. And I'll see you very, very soon. Expect more on this speech, more on my website, more on all the fun development stuff that's happening in the background, as well as my book. Stay tuned, y'all. Lots of updates coming. Love you. Bye.